Parallel ninja worlds collide, Empire vs Altered Konoha. Please like, share, and subscribe. Episode 21. Obito arrives, Kenji from Otherworld. Following Kakashi, there is probably no future. This guy has such a hard time beating Zabuza. Sasuke feels that there is little hope for training with Kakashi, to the point where he can avenge Uchiha Itachi. Of course. This is just one of the reasons why Sasuke made this choice. Although he really wants to improve his strength and seek revenge on Uchiha Itachi. But his current thoughts are not so extreme. He can't give himself up before waiting for revenge. I am willing to go to your world. Sasuke took a deep breath and said to Menma solemnly, I hope you can help me practice and get stronger. There is another reason for him to make this choice. Before. On the bridge of Wave Country. When he was stabbed into a hedgehog by Ice Thousand Bones, it was this guy who saved him. So. Sasuke is now willing to give these visitors from other worlds a certain trust. Sasuke. Naruto's eyes widened, looking at Sasuke in disbelief. Damn it. You are really going to leave? As he said that, Naruto wanted to rush forward. Even if he had to fight, he had to wake up Sasuke. Swish. A large number of golden chains floated out of Menma's hands, tightly wrapping Naruto. We respected Sasuke's wishes, and let him make his own choice. Menma said calmly, I hope you can also respect Sasuke's own ideas. Damn it, you be ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* Teeth in anger, struggling desperately, still wanting to rush towards Sasuke. Forget it, Naruto. Shiro Kakashi looked into Sasuke's eyes, his face a little gloomy, and said, Look at Sasuke's eyes. What's wrong with the eyes? Naruto said angrily. Isn't it just Sharingan? From the previous one single and one pair, it has evolved to the current double eye and two Magatama. Menma looked at Sasuke and nodded in admiration. Is it because of the separation in the heart, under the influence of this emotion, has the Sharingan advanced? Sharingan is called the Eye of the Soul. Sasuke's Sharingan's advancement is the embodiment of his inner thoughts just now. I don't know what your real purpose is. By Kakashi said in a low voice, anyway, I hope that after Sasuke goes to your side, you can treat him better. His life is really a failure. Father, companions, teachers. He can't keep any of the important people in his life. Now. He can't even protect his own students. Those visitors from other worlds want to take Sasuke away, and he has no power to resist them. You can rest assured about this. Kuro Kakashi nodded and said, perhaps, because of the existence of Sasuke on our side and Sasuke's own experience, our Majesty should have a great degree of goodwill towards him. His Majesty also said before that Sasuke should be treated as gently as possible. I think. When Sasuke goes to the Empire, he will definitely be treated well. You can think about the previous decision again. Menma said with a smile on his face, we have another companion coming later. If you are sure to go to the Empire, there should be a small gift waiting for you. Sasuke was a little curious in his heart, but his attitude was very firm, no need to think about it anymore. Ninja World Number 1. The border of the Kingdom of Wind, the ruins of the ancient country of Lulan. The light of the dragon vein rushed into the sky again. In an instant, another figure crossed the world and came to this ninja world. A short-haired young man with a silly look on his face. He wore a dark blue outfit with the Uchiha clan emblem of a flaming fan embroidered on it. Hello, First Hokage Senior. Uchiha Obito smiled sunny and greeted the Hashirama clone at the other end of the dragon vein. I am Uchiha Obito. Under the order of your Majesty, I came to this ninja world to meet you. I don't know how Kakashi and the others are doing. Humph. Sure enough, I still need to support them. Your Majesty is really, he should have directly selected me as a member of the advance team. Kakashi and the others should be in the Land of Waves now. The Hashirama clone who was responsible for guarding the dragon vein greeted Obito and activated the Flying Thunder God spell left on the clone's arm. I will notify them now. Very quickly. Swish. A flash of golden light. Menma's figure rushed over across space. Hey, Menma, you're still as fast as ever. Obito smiled and greeted Menma, you're worthy of being the son of Lord Minato. But. When it comes to mastering the power of space, he's still better. Obito-senpai. Menma politely greeted him, then turned to look at Hashirama's clone, first-generation senpai, there shouldn't be any problems here, right? Those who came from the Empire through the time tunnel should have arrived from the Dragon Vein. So, this place must be guarded well. No problem. Hashirama's clone waved his hand and said, since the advance team arrived until now, no one else has approached the dragon vein. His clone still has enough chakra, enough to deal with most enemies in this ninja world. Even if he can't win, at least he can notify the original body in time. Then we'll leave first. Menma nodded and said, Senior Obito, it just so happens that Captain Kakashi and I from this ninja world are also here. Oh? Obito immediately became interested. Kakashi here? I wonder what it will be like. The other side. In the land of waves, in Cardo's manor. Swish. With a flash of golden light, Menma brought Obito back. Aside. Shiro Kakashi and others have been curious just now. Who will be the other companion of these guys? You are. Shiro Kakashi looked at the face of the young man brought by Menma, and his eyes widened immediately. Obito, you are still alive? Obito, who had just come over, had a dark face in an instant. Hey. Are you Kakashi here? What are you doing? You curse me to death right away? No, Shiro Kakashi was a little incoherent. My mind was a little confused. This Obito should be the Obito of another ninja world, not the Obito he is familiar with. It seems so. Kakashi Black looked at Kakashi White's left eye covered by a mask. Obito here should have died a long time ago, right? Maybe even before the Uchiha exterminated the clan? Huh? Hearing this, Obito was completely confused. What the hell? The Mihir died? And what happened if the Uchiha exterminated the clan? Episode 22. First Order Sage Body Fusion Potion. Eye-opening 3 Magatama. No, I'm dead here? Obito was dumbfounded when he came over. How is it possible? I'm such a genius, how can I die so easily? Impossible. His Sharingan talent has been recognized by His Majesty. Even in the entire Uchiha clan, there are few people who can compare with him in this aspect. And in the ninja world here. I didn't have time to show my talent and died young? You are Uchiha Obito? Momochi Zabuza looked suspicious and said, Konoha's Uchiha Obito, the hero of the Battle of Kanobi Bridge, should have died in the 46th year of Konoha calendar? Is this guy really Uchiha Obito? Judging from Hitaki Kakashi's reaction, it should be like this. Damn, what the hell? Are these guys really from Otherworld? The 46th year of the Konoha calendar, if converted to our time. Obito frowned, and his expression gradually became more interesting. The 6th year of the Imperial calendar, that is, when I was 12 years old. Damn. I died at the age of 12? This is too early. That was the most intense period of the Third Ninja World War. White Kakashi looked at Obito, and said in a trance, at that time, many of my peers in the ninja school died on the battlefield. The Third Ninja World War? Obito frowned, is there a third time here? The history here is different from ours. Black Kakashi explained, there is no majesty in the history of this ninja world, so the ninja world is still in the era of the 5 major ninja villages. Still in the ninja village era? Obito was shocked. Tisk tsk, your ninja world is really backward, and the ninja world is not unified yet? Sure enough, the empire is better. When I came out of the Dragon Vein channel before, I saw a desolate desert, and Obito was shocked at that time. How primitive is this ninja world? There are actually places with such harsh environments. By the way, let me guess, you're Sharingan. Black Kakashi asked curiously, could it be that Obito, in this ninja world, gave it to you? He had been curious before, but never had time to ask. Here, it seems that I have abandoned the family swordsmanship and switched to Sharingan. Isn't this nonsense? Without the chakra fusion technology of the Empire, if I just transplant the eyes, I'm afraid Sharingan can't even be closed. Chakra is consumed almost all the time. That's right. White Kakashi nodded with a heavy heart, this is a relic given to me by Obito, before he died in battle. I hope I can see the world with this eye. So. Even if this eye brought him a great burden. He never wanted to give up. Is that so? Obito thought about it, and suddenly smiled and said, it seems that I and Kakashi in this ninja world should have a good relationship. Giving an eye before death. This kind of thing can only be done if the relationship is deep enough. Suddenly. That. Sasuke suddenly said awkwardly, didn't you say before that you had something too? Didn't you say there was a small gift? It should be something that can help me improve my strength, right? Sasuke is now a little impatient. He has made a decision, and now he just wants to go to Otherworld as soon as possible, to practice in a better training environment and improve his strength. Naruto in another world, who is the same age as me, can have such strong strength. There is no reason why I can't do it. Naruto can do it, but I can't. Wait a minute. Obito's eyes suddenly flashed red. The pitch-black boomerang pattern Mangekyo appeared. The invisible Uzumaki appeared in the void, and Obito's figure disappeared silently in the Uzumaki. This magical scene directly shocked everyone present. What kind of ability is this? Not long after, Obito held a syringe in his hand and appeared in the twisted Uzumaki again. Here. Obito raised the thing in his hand and said, "This is the first-level Sage Body Fusion Potion that His Majesty asked me to bring after you applied. Before coming here this time, he was required to store a lot of things in the Kamui space." At that time, Obito still felt a little weird, as if he was just sent to this ninja world as a mobile warehouse. He must have thought too much. Sage Body Fusion Potion? Shiro Kakashi slightly widened his eyes and looked at the thing in Obito's hand. Is it the product of that chakra fusion technology? This potion is the product of Your Majesty's chakra fusion technology, applied to the yang escape chakra of the Sage Body. Kuro Kakashi explained, "This is just a first-level Sage Body Fusion Potion, which is the lowest version of mass production and has been fully popularized in the Empire." How do I use this thing? Sasuke stared at the needle syringe and couldn't wait to ask. Fusing Sage Body. How much will it improve my strength? Just inject it directly. Obito said, rolling up Sasuke's sleeves. Huh? Sasuke suddenly felt a little panicked. Don't you need to prepare anything? Why do I suddenly feel like a guinea pig? However, Obito didn't give Sasuke a chance to resist. One shot. The potion in the syringe was injected into Sasuke's body. For a moment, everyone present was silent, staring at Sasuke. What kind of effect does this so-called Sage Body Fusion Potion from Otherworld have? Huh. Feeling the needle being pulled out of his upper arm, Sasuke suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. Is that all? What will happen? Sasuke, how do you feel? Shiro Kakashi said worriedly. If Sasuke is killed by you, I will never let you guys go. Naruto also said angrily. However, Kuro Kakashi, Menma, Obito, and others were not moved at all. This most basic Sage Body Potion has been used in the Empire for many years, how could it possibly go wrong? Sasuke suddenly let out a low cry. His body seemed to be a little hot. It seemed that there was a kind of energy that was constantly expanding and developing in his body. Buzz. Suddenly, the Sharingan in Sasuke's eyes opened automatically. In the two scarlet eyes on the left and right, the two pairs of Magatama in each began to rotate slowly, and faster. While rotating at high speed, one of the Magatama suddenly fissioned and split into a third Magatama. Advanced again. 3 Tomo Sharingan. Episode 23. Sasuke came to the Empire, Uchiha Itachi of the Otherworld. Kakashi Shiro opened his mouth wide, speechless in shock. 3 Magatama. That's 3 Magatama? The effect is too fast, isn't it? This potion. Zabuza Momochi looked at the empty syringe in Obito's hand. He was shocked. This potion really works. And these people. They should really be from Otherworld. In an instant, Zabuza felt that his worldview collapsed. He had always believed that Menma and others were from Otherworld. After all, this kind of thing was too far-fetched. However, now, after seeing the miraculous effect of this potion, he couldn't help but believe it. He had also seen the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan on the battlefield of the Third Ninja World War. From the 1 Magatama of the eyes, it can be gradually advanced to the 3 Magatama form. According to his understanding of Sharingan, Sharingan's advancement often occurs in the midst of fierce fighting between life and death. And like now, one shot, and it advances from double Magatama to 3 Magatama. Unheard of. This is definitely not a technology that exists in this ninja world. For a moment, Zabuza felt his body trembling. These guys came from another ninja world, and each of them has at least as strong as the 5 shadows. These people, who came across the world specifically, will definitely set off a storm in the ninja world. And now, he is in the center of this brewing storm. My Sharingan seems to have become stronger again. Sasuke couldn't help but cover his eyes and said with rapid breathing. Without looking in the mirror, he could feel that his eyes had become much stronger. What we just injected into you is the Sage Body Fusion Potion. Menma explained, although the Sage Body is fused with Yang-style chakra, because of the connection between the Uchiha bloodline and the Sage Body, your Sharingan will advance to a higher level under the union of Yin and Yang. This is normal. When Yin and Yang are united, many magical changes will occur. The fusion of ultimate Yin-style chakra and ultimate Yang-style chakra will open up the power of all things. I feel so hot now. Sasuke's voice was a little weak, his cheeks were hot, and beads of sweat kept rolling down his face. But it seems that there is no other uncomfortable feeling. The Sage Body Yang-style chakra is fusing with your own chakra. Kuro Kakashi explained, this fusion will take a while, and your body will continue to heat up during the process, but that's all, there will be no other adverse reactions. This first-level Sage Body Fusion Potion will not cause any harm even if it is injected into a baby. After about an hour, the chakra fusion will be over. Obito said with a smile. For a while, everyone stared at Sasuke's reaction. There was curiosity, worry, and nervousness. There were so many. Soon, an hour passed. Sasuke's originally slightly red complexion returned to normal. Buzz. His eyes opened. Scarlet light, like a gorgeous ruby. This power. Sasuke tried to clench his fists and felt excited, my chakra should be 3 times as much as before. Only 1 hour has passed. His strength has been greatly improved. Chakra volume has skyrocketed. Sharingan has been upgraded to 3 Magatama. This is just the beginning. Menma smiled and said, your body has not yet fully adapted. In the next period of time, your strength should increase rapidly. What is my current combat power? Sasuke couldn't suppress his excitement and asked. This. Menma operated it and aimed the combat power detector at Sasuke. The current combat power value is 75. Sasuke was suddenly like being poured with a bucket of cold water. Why is it only improved so little? It shouldn't be. According to his feeling, his strength can at least double. Although your chakra amount and Sharingan have been upgraded, you have not been able to master this power at all. Kuro Kakashi explained, if you go to fight now, it is very likely that your vision and brain can react, but your body can't keep up. Sasuke nodded thoughtfully. According to my prediction. Menma estimated, probably, after a month of special training in the Empire, your combat power should be able to reach 200. Well, it's almost close to the threshold of Jonin. Jonin? Sasuke's heart was beating wildly. For him, this was a goal that was still a long way off. On the side, Kakashi Shiro, Zabuza, and others' eyelids were twitching wildly. It only took 1 month to upgrade from the original Genin to the strength close to Jonin. This improvement is too outrageous, right? How long did it take them to upgrade from Chunin to Jonin level? Several years. I'm ready. Sasuke tried to calm down his excitement and said, take me to your world. Sasuke, you be ****************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** rushed directly towards Sasuke. Hey! Menma easily held Naruto down, forcing your friends to accept your will and your own ideas. Do you think this is the way to treat your friends? You? Naruto's anger stagnated. He wanted to refute, but didn't know what to say. I'll take Sasuke there first and come back soon. Menma waved to Hey Kakashi and the others. Swish. A flash of golden light. Space transformation. Ruins of the ancient city of Lulan. Next, just wait here. Menma tried to connect to the Empire's communication. After that, the Empire will open a space-time channel and call you over. Yes. Sasuke nodded gently. Suddenly, I felt that my excitement had cooled down a lot. Sorry, Naruto and Kakashi. I am an Avenger. This is the path I chose. Soon. When Sasuke looked back at the endless desert of the Kingdom of Wind, the light of the dragon vein swallowed Sasuke's body. I don't know how long it has been. When Sasuke opened his eyes again, the surrounding scene has completely changed. It seems that he is in a strange room. There are a lot of strange machines around. Under his feet, it seems to be a huge teleportation array. Hello. A gentle voice that Sasuke was very familiar with suddenly came from the surroundings. Nice to meet you, Sasuke from another world. Buzz. Sasuke's Sharingan opened subconsciously. Gritting his teeth, he slowly turned his head and looked at the face that he was very familiar with deep tear grooves. Uchiha Itachi. Episode 24. Sasuke arrives in Otherworld and enters elementary school. Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke's voice was like a ghost, and he stared at Uchiha Itachi with scarlet eyes. This face. Too familiar. The bloody memory was turned out from the depths of his mind. Since that night 5 years ago, the face that woke him up in anger, hatred, and fear for countless nights. Uchiha Itachi's originally gentle expression slowly disappeared. I'm sorry, I caused you a lot of harm in another world. He already knew about the things in another world. The me over there destroyed the Uchiha clan. He even didn't let his parents go. Sasuke clenched his fists. He knew that the person in front of him was not the one he wanted to avenge. This was just the isotope of another world. But he could only hold back and not punch that face. He couldn't talk to this guy with this face in a peaceful mood. Seeing this, Uchiha Itachi sighed inwardly, turned slightly, and stretched out his hand to signal Sasuke to follow. This place was specially built for the Empire's parallel ninja world exploration plan. Now it is still under construction, preparing to build a stable channel to the parallel ninja world. Soon, Uchiha Itachi and Sasuke took the elevator. The elevator kept rising. In the silent elevator car, Uchiha Itachi suddenly spoke. We are now in the border area of the Wind Country in the central plains of the ninja world, now the Wind State. Next, your destination is the capital of the Empire, but there is still a long distance between here and there. You can choose to go to the Imperial capital in any way, such as road, rail, airplane, airship, or space teleportation array. My suggestion is that you can choose to take an airship. Although it is slower, you can then overlook the scenery of the Empire from the air on the airship. In addition, on the way to the Imperial capital, I can also explain to you the basic situation of the Empire. On the side, Sasuke listened quietly. Suddenly, there was a sense of absurdity in my heart. It seemed that I had returned to the night before the genocide. At that time, Uchiha Itachi was still my good brother. Now, it was as if my brother was taking me on a trip. Yeah. Sasuke responded in a muffled voice. It was considered that he accepted Uchiha Itachi's suggestion. Seeing this, Uchiha Itachi breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that Sasuke should still be able to communicate. Soon, the elevator rose to the ground. In this base under construction, there was a busy scene. Uchiha Itachi led the way in front, constantly pointing to various things around him, introducing them one by one. Sasuke followed closely behind. He felt a little nervous. After coming to this new world, everything was something he had never seen before. There were so many strange machines, and he had no idea what they were used for. He could only follow Uchiha Itachi step by step. We're here. Uchiha Itachi suddenly said, pointing to the giant airship parked outside through the glass in the corridor. After that, we'll take this to the Imperial capital. Sasuke almost dropped his jaw in shock. This? What is that? That airship we talked about before? So big? Can this thing fly in the sky? How did it do that? Following Uchiha Itachi closely, he boarded the airship carefully. The airship slowly rose into the air. In the luxurious lounge, through the huge floor-to-ceiling windows, the scenery below is in full view. Wait. Sasuke was so absorbed in watching that he suddenly realized something and his face changed slightly. You just said that we were at the border of the Kingdom of Wind? How is this possible? The lush forest below is all green as far as the eye can see. Could this be the Kingdom of Wind? In the ninja world, this kind of scene usually only appears in the Kingdom of Fire, right? That's one of the reasons why I suggest you take the airship. Uchiha Itachi explained softly. More than a decade ago, His Majesty had someone specially redesign and plan the terrain of the ninja world. Then, His Majesty used the power of 6 paths to completely rewrite the terrain structure of the ninja world, and changed the geography and climate of the ninja world in all aspects. After that, even the Wind Country, which was once the most uninhabitable and barren place in the ninja world, has become a paradise. Once it was done, the disputes that once arose in the ninja world due to the gap in resources between each other were directly crushed from the root. Everyone's innate resource conditions are converging. What are they fighting for? This kind of thing. Sasuke suddenly felt dizzy. Is this really something a ninja can do? Completely rewrite the terrain of the ninja world. This is simply a godlike power. 6 paths level. What kind of power level is this? Is it still above that Super Kage level? So, Your Majesty is unique. Uchiha Itachi showed a respectful look on his face. Whether it is the pioneering power system or the institutional level, Your Majesty is unique. Sasuke said nothing and nodded slowly. He had heard a lot about the Majesty whom he had not met yet. Whether it was Menma or Kuro Kakashi before, or Uchiha Itachi now, they all respected the Majesty very much. So who is this person? After you arrive in the Imperial capital, the Majesty should arrange for you to enroll. Uchiha Itachi turned around and said to Sasuke, you still have a lot to learn now. Yeah. Sasuke nodded. He had just graduated from the ninja school not long ago. Going back to school to continue studying is not something difficult to accept. Opposite. Uchiha Itachi nodded slowly, and his voice suddenly became a little weak. The school system of the empire is divided into 9 years of compulsory education, 6 years of elementary school, 3 years of junior high school, and then 3 years of high school, 4 years of university, etc., and you can continue to study in various directions in the future. If your grades reach the graduation level, you can skip grades at any time, without many restrictions. After listening, Sasuke nodded slowly, and asked with a little curiosity. If I enroll, what stage will it be? University. It should be unlikely. Probably junior high school or high school? After all, I graduated as the first in the ninja school. Uchiha Itachi was silent for a moment, and said, according to Menma's report, you don't seem to have done the chakra control training of treading water. In addition, you are lacking in cultural courses, such as the history of the ninja world. So, I guess, you will most likely enter elementary school to study in the future. Sasuke's face froze instantly. Episode 25. Uchiha Itachi, I in the other world am worse than an animal. Elementary school. Sasuke felt his brain trembling. He was the top graduate of Konoha Shinobi School. After coming to Otherworld, he had to start from the lowest level of learning again? Am I that bad? If I have to go to elementary school later. Then, according to the subsequent learning stage, if I don't skip a grade, I want to graduate from the status of a student, that is, graduate from university, at least 10 years. 10 years. It's not that exaggerated. Uchiha Itachi tried to comfort, with your talent, Sasuke, you should be able to catch up soon. According to your current talent and strength, you only need 1 month of special training to reach the strength close to Jonin. In terms of strength alone, such strength is enough to graduate from some ordinary universities. Hearing this, Sasuke was barely relieved. Fortunately, it's okay. I'm not that bad. Yeah. For the time being, I will work hard on this goal. 1 month, reach the strength of Jonin. Right. Sasuke suddenly thought of something and asked, if I want to reach the level of Namake's Menma and myself in this world, how long will it take to learn? Those 2 guys have Super Kage level strength. They are even enough to participate in major events, such as exploring the parallel ninja world. If I can reach this level, it will be easy to go back and seek revenge on Uchiha Itachi. Achieve the strength of the 2 of them? Uchiha Itachi thought about it, shook his head slightly, and said, it is very difficult to reach the Super Kage level by hard practice alone. Generally, you need to use chakra fusion technology to further break the upper limit of your bloodline talent. Senior Obito should have brought you a first-level Sage Body Fusion potion before, which is just the most basic. Further up, there are more advanced Sage Body Fusion potions and Sharingan Fusion potions. Hearing this, Sasuke couldn't help but frown slightly. If that's the case, doesn't it mean that as long as there are enough of these potions, anyone can keep breaking their talent limits and obtain bloodline limits similar to Sharingan? This doesn't seem to make sense. If that's the case, then what about the descendants of the 6 god tiers of the empire that Namake's Menma mentioned before? If bloodline limits can be wholesaled, what's so rare about the so-called descendants of gods? That's not the case. Uchiha Itachi shook his head and explained, if a person's body wants to fuse other chakras, it is also limited by innate conditions and cannot be fused at will. People with better talents can absorb more advanced potions and break to a higher limit. Of course, with your talent, Sasuke will definitely be able to break the limit and reach the limit of mortals. After all, he is the reincarnation of Indra's chakra. In terms of talent, the upper limit will definitely not be bad. Well, let me give you an example. Uchiha Itachi thought for a moment and said, the first level Sage Body Fusion potion you used before is a product that weakens the Sage Body's Yang release chakra as much as possible. Even ordinary people with the worst talent can easily withstand it. That potion has long been popularized in the Empire. The reason it was developed is to allow all citizens of the Empire to refine and master chakra. Hearing this, Sasuke was completely speechless. So what he used before was just a common product. Any citizen of the Empire has used it. I thought it was a rare treasure at the time. Alas. Sasuke sighed in his heart. It has only been a short while since he arrived in the Otherworld Empire. His worldview has been constantly refreshed. The gap between the two worlds is really too big. On the airship, the two communicated with each other. Uchiha Itachi was talking, and Sasuke was listening, occasionally responding. Soon. Ahead. The outline of the Imperial capital had already appeared in Sasuke's eyes. We're almost there. Uchiha Itachi's voice was a little low, and he suddenly turned to look at Sasuke. Sasuke, can I check your memory? I hope to know about what I did in another world. Sasuke's mood, which had been gradually getting better during the journey, suddenly darkened. Looking at the face opposite that suddenly felt hateful again. Sasuke was silent for a long time before nodding. Thank you. Uchiha Itachi said softly. Then, he stretched out his hand and pressed it on Sasuke's head. Using the secret technique of the Yamanaka clan, one can sneak into other people's minds and read memories. This method is naturally not difficult for him to master. Soon. Segments of the picture were read out. Another ninja world without His Majesty. A happy family, a harmonious brotherly relationship. The peaceful daily life suddenly began to have some waves. Until the night of the genocide. Uchiha Itachi read this content, his face became slightly distorted, and his facial muscles kept twitching. Huh. After reading Sasuke's memory, Uchiha Itachi was already sweating. Beast? No. Worse than a beast. The self in another world is really worse than a beast. We are here, Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi said softly, without saying much. For Sasuke's experience, nothing he said could soothe the pain in Sasuke's heart. Yeah. Sasuke responded with a gloomy face. They were speechless and followed Uchiha Itachi quietly off the airship. I will probably take you here later. Uchiha Itachi walked in front and said softly, after that, the specific arrangements for your future will be handled by Lord Tobirama. Lord Tobirama? Sasuke had a question mark on his forehead. Who is this? The name seems familiar. Have you seen it somewhere? Soon. In front. In the airport lounge. A man with silver hair and red eyes, with a branch-like pattern embroidered on his clothes. It looks like a family emblem. Sasuke guessed secretly in his heart. At the same time, looking at the appearance of the man opposite, Sasuke felt familiar again. He seemed to have seen this man's face somewhere. That's it, Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi pointed to the man opposite and introduced, this is Lord Tobirama, the former second Hokage of Konoha, Senju Tobirama. Episode 26. Senju Tobirama, the Uchiha imp who was born evil. Sasuke was stunned for a moment, looked at Senju Tobirama carefully, and asked Uchiha Itachi, who? Did he hear it right? Konoha's second Hokage, Senju Tobirama? How many years has this person been dead? No wonder. I just felt that the name Tobirama was familiar. Not only the name was familiar, but the face of this person was also familiar. Isn't this person seen on the Hokage rock statue every day? Second Hokage, sir. Sasuke looked at Senju Tobirama and swallowed. Could it be that the second Hokage sir in this world did not die in the battle and is still alive? Two different ninja worlds. It's normal for history to have different directions. Isn't Kakashi's teammate named Uchiha Obito, who died in the battle, still alive in this ninja world? No, Lord Tobirama in this ninja world also died in the First Ninja World War. Uchiha Itachi explained, however, Lord Tobirama was resurrected by His Majesty later. Sasuke felt that his worldview was refreshed again. Resurrection. Can it be done to bring someone back to life? However, think about it, His Majesty can even rewrite the topography of the entire ninja world. It seems that it is not unacceptable to bring a person back to life. Uchiha Sasuke. Opposite, Senju Tobarama stood there with his arms folded, and his red eyes examined Sasuke. His gaze was like a substance, as if it could penetrate Sasuke's heart. It made Sasuke feel uncomfortable. It was as if he was seen through. Humph. Senju Tobarama suddenly snorted coldly, another born evil kid. In order to improve his strength and revenge, regardless of possible risks, he took the initiative to come to the unknown otherworld. He could see it clearly from Sasuke's face. This brat has an inextricable hatred in his heart. If an Uchiha like this is guided a little bit and awakens the Mangekyo Sharingan in a certain emotional state, he will completely fall into the devil's way. Sasuke was confused. What the hell? Born evil? Is he talking about himself? How can he be born evil? Is this old thing sick? Ahem. Uchiha Itachi looked a little embarrassed. Sasuke, don't take it too seriously. What I said just now. You can understand it as Tobarama's catchphrase. An evil Uchiha brat. Many Uchiha have received such comments from Senju Tobarama. Moreover, the Uchiha who received such comments are often talented Uchiha. After a long time, everyone got used to it and didn't take it seriously. They came from the Sengoku era, and they had a feud with the Uchiha in the past. It's normal for them to have some prejudice against the Uchiha clan. As long as they don't let personal interests override public interests, no one will care too much. Besides, he is not the only one allowed to call him that. Many young people in the Uchiha clan privately say that they are born evil Senju old ghosts. Lord Tobarama, Sasuke is in your hands. Uchiha Itachi said politely. He just came to see Sasuke from another world. After that, the specific arrangements for Sasuke's future will be handled by Senju Tobarama, who is in charge of the #1 ninja world exploration operation. I'll take you here, Sasuke. Uchiha Itachi said with a gentle face, it's nice to meet you, but it doesn't seem like a pleasant memory for you to meet me. Sasuke's expression was a little complicated. I'm sorry to have affected your mood. Uchiha Itachi continued, I should try to appear in front of you less in the future. Finally, Sasuke, I wish you a happy life in this world in the future. After that, he planned to apply to His Majesty to go to the #1 ninja world. He wanted to find out for himself why he could do such a cruel thing in another ninja world. That be ******** D. Did he open the Mangekyo Sharingan because he killed Shisui? And he killed his parents and slaughtered the whole clan. Was it really just to test his own ability? But no matter what the reason behind it. The self in another world, Uchiha Itachi, that beast. Unforgivable crime. Uchiha Itachi left. Sasuke felt a little complicated. Don't stand there, I'll take you to meet His Majesty. Senju Tobarama said coldly. Looking at Sasuke's face, he just felt disgusted. Like. Too much like. This brat is just like that damned Uchiha Izuna. Huh. An Uchiha who looks very similar to that be ********** D Uchiha Izuna fell into his hands. Interesting. Sasuke looked at Senju Tobarama and suddenly felt a little cold. The former second Hokage of Konoha looked at him with a wrong look. Opposite. Senju Tobarama didn't give Sasuke time to think. He put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder, activated the Flying Thunder God technique, and disappeared in a flash. The next moment. The central area of the Imperial capital. The Imperial Central Office Building. Sir Tobarama. The guard at the door saluted respectfully to Senju Tobarama. Yes. Senju Tobarama nodded slightly and walked in with Sasuke. In the central office building, the use of space-time ninjutsu is prohibited. In addition, many other areas in the Empire also prohibit space-time ninjutsu. You need to pay attention to this in the future. I don't know any space-time ninjutsu. Sasuke was speechless. At most, he knew the body replacement technique. But the body replacement technique looks like a space-time ninjutsu, but it is actually just a trick to fool people. You should have this talent, you can learn it later. Senju Tobarama said indifferently. Sasuke's heart was moved. Can space-time ninjutsu be learned? If he can learn it, will the chances of defeating Uchiha Itachi be a little greater? In silence, Senju Tobarama led Sasuke to walk forward. This is it. Senju Tobarama stopped in front of an office door and gestured, go in, His Majesty is waiting for you inside. Sasuke suddenly felt nervous. The Emperor of the Empire who rules all corners of the ninja world. Even the Hokage should be a million miles away, right? He felt a little scared. Seeing Sasuke like this. Senju Tobirama sneered, opened the door, and walked in. Seeing this, Sasuke could only bite the bullet and follow him in. Episode 27. The Emperor of the Empire returns to his original nature. Stripping away Indra's will. The first time he saw the Emperor of the Empire, Sasuke felt that he was a little ordinary. It was a little different from what he imagined. At first glance, he didn't see any aura of a strong man. It was as if he was just an ordinary person. Overall, except that his appearance was in line with the aesthetics of the Uchiha clan, Sasuke couldn't see anything else. Your Majesty, Uchiha Sasuke from the #1 ninja world is here. Senju Tobirama stretched out his hand and said to Sasuke. Yes. Chang Ye nodded gently. Then, he turned his head and looked at Sasuke. It has been more than 30 years since he traveled to this world. As early as more than 20 years ago, the direction of the entire ninja world had been completely changed. I thought it would be impossible to see the Uchiha Sasuke in the original time and space again. Unexpectedly, I still saw Sasuke in this parallel ninja world. This Sasuke now should be the closest to Sasuke in the original time and space. Your Majesty. When Sasuke saw Chang Ye looking at him, his mind was almost blank. He was in a panic and didn't know how to salute. What should he do? Kneel? Kneel on one knee or in some other posture. Don't be nervous. Chang Ye smiled and said, well, I basically know your situation. You want to practice in this ninja world to improve your strength, and the corresponding resources are sufficient and can be provided to you. Thank you, Your Majesty. Sasuke's thoughts were in a mess, and he responded a little dazedly. Why? Why would the Emperor of this empire want to help him? Why did they invite you here? They probably didn't explain this to you, did they? Chang Ye saw what Sasuke was thinking, and nodded slightly to Senju Tobirama beside him, saying, Tobirama, please explain it. Yes. Senju Tobirama nodded and said to Sasuke, I will try my best to make you understand. The legendary founder of the ninja sect in your ninja world, Sage of Six Paths, has 2 sons, Indra and Ashura. Because of the conflict over the succession of the ninja sect, the fate of these 2 people continues to be entangled with each other, and their chakras are always reincarnated in their bloodline descendants. And the individuals who inherited their 2 chakras will also have their fates entangled with each other for a lifetime. For example, my brother, first Hokage Senju Hashirama, and his nemesis Uchiha Madara. Opposite. Sasuke tried to listen attentively. Chakra reincarnates in bloodline descendants. Suddenly, Sasuke frowned. Wait. Sasuke looked down at himself. If the bloodline of one of those 2 people is Uchiha, if they continue to reincarnate, the possible successors of their chakra will soon be me and Uchiha Itachi? There are only 2 Uchiha left in their ninja world. Not bad, quite smart. Senju Tobirama nodded slightly and praised, Indra is the ancestor of the Uchiha clan. And you are the reincarnation of Indra chakra in your generation of ninja world. After that, Senju Tobirama briefly explained that in order to prevent the Sage of Six Paths from causing trouble, Sasuke needed to be taken away from that ninja world. This is one of the reasons. Chang Ye chuckled and said, for this reason, I need to take you away from that ninja world. But the reason why I help you and provide you with the resources you need for training, you can understand this as my sympathy for your fate. So, if you want to take control of your own destiny, I am willing to help you. Sasuke suddenly felt his nose sour. Since the night of the extermination of his clan 5 years ago, he has been alone and helpless. Unexpectedly, the person who can truly understand him and is willing to help him is actually a person from Otherworld. Hello? Senju Tobirama crossed his arms and his expression was a little strange. Are you going to cry? The emotions that Sasuke was brewing just now were stuck. A crazy sense of shame in his heart made him want to disappear directly on the spot. Chang Ye shook his head helplessly and couldn't help but complain, Tobirama, you are really good at talking. This sentence made Sasuke embarrassed to death. Although Tobirama is a bit sinister and black-bellied, he is not like this normally. Is it because Sasuke looks like Uchiha Izuna? Yes, it is possible. Ignore this guy. Chang Ye stood up and walked towards Sasuke. Let me help you remove the will of Indra in your chakra first. I think you don't want to be affected by the will of others, right? Will Indra's will have any effect on me? Sasuke asked curiously. Well, this mainly involves the relationship with the reincarnation of Ashura Chakra. Chang Ye thought for a while and said, specifically, it will make you gradually entangled in the relationship with Naruto. Sasuke's face was slightly dark. Why does he sound so strange when he said this? A bit gay. Please help me get rid of it. Sasuke said very politely at this moment. Yeah. Chang Ye nodded, stretched out his hand and gently touched Sasuke's forehead, then took his hand back. Sasuke was a little confused, is that all? No need to bother too much. Chang Ye shook his head and explained, Indra does have some strength, but he is not a real 6 path level strongman. At most, he can be regarded as touching the threshold of 6 paths. It is not difficult to strip off his will. Sasuke was secretly shocked. Is this really not difficult? According to what the second Hokage said just now, the first Hokage and Uchiha Madara have been entangled with each other for a lifetime. Obviously, even the strong men at their level have not been able to strip off the influence of Indra and Ashura's will. But the emperor in front of him said it so lightly. Is this the difference in realm? Although I can't see any breath of a strong man from this majesty. But this can only mean that this majesty's realm should have reached the level of returning to nature. I didn't remove the will of Indra from your chakra. Chang Ye chuckled and said, I just left some chakra in your body, combined it with the will of Indra, and sealed it in your body. Well, you can roughly understand it as the existence of the tailed beast in the body of Jinchuriki. Sasuke was a little puzzled, can I ask why you did this? Why did you leave the will of Indra? You are completely alone in this world. Chang Ye nodded slightly and said, I believe that in the future you should need to find someone to communicate with occasionally. Episode 28. Sasuke's personal grandfather, Indra. After all, he has lived in your body for so long. Chang Ye chuckled and said, I should give you something in return, right? Just consider it as paying the rent. Meanwhile, in Sasuke's body, in a special sealed space, the eldest son of the Sage of 6 Paths, Otsutsuki Indra, dared not say a word. His will was suddenly stripped out by a special means. And it was also combined with a part of chakra and sealed. For a period of time in the future, he can only exist in Sasuke's body in this special form. Otherwise, what? Can he still resist? The man outside who doesn't seem to have the aura of a strong man. Sasuke can't see what's special about Chang Ye. But Indra can still feel something. This person's realm is probably the same level as Grandmother Kaguya. A powerful existence above the 6 paths. In front of such a person, he has no room for resistance. What's more, he is not here in his soul. What he has deposited in Sasuke is just a chakra containing his own will. Then there is no room for resistance. However, fortunately, this should only be temporary. When this chakra is consumed, his consciousness will have nowhere to be stored. When the consciousness dissipates, he will be free. Indra is sealed in my body. Sasuke suddenly felt a little awkward. This feeling seems to be a bit like that guy Naruto. No. It's a little different. The one in Naruto should be a fox. And there is a person in his body. Every move of his is seen by another person in his body. This feeling is too strange. Next, I will arrange a school for you to enroll. Senju Tobarama said coldly, as for your living problem, you will be arranged to live in the Uchiha clan settlement in the Imperial capital. Is there a problem? No problem. Sasuke shook his head. He also wanted to see the Uchiha clan in this ninja world. That's it. Senju Tobarama said, with a slight upward curve of his lips, if you need anything or have any questions in the future, just report to me directly. Sasuke felt a little reluctant. If possible, he didn't want to get along with the former second Hokage. But seeing that the emperor didn't mean to speak for him at this time, Sasuke could only accept it helplessly. Imperial capital. Uchiha clan settlement area. Swish. Senju Tobarama appeared out of thin air with Sasuke. At this moment, there was already a couple waiting here. I brought this kid here for you. Senju Tobarama said in a cold manner. After that, he didn't say much to the other side, and directly activated the Flying Thunder God technique again and left. Sasuke, who was left there, was stunned when he looked at the two people opposite. The faces of these two people. You are Sasuke from another world, right? Uchiha Fugaku tried to soften his usually rigid expression, everyone in the clan already knows that you are coming. Coincidentally, my family Sasuke also went to participate in His Majesty's Parallel Ninja World Exploration Plan, so you can just move in. When the clan members heard that you were coming, they all wanted to hold a welcome party together to celebrate your coming. The Uchiha Shurikado, homonymous, unrelated to the meaning of passerby, on the side also said with a gentle expression, I wonder what you like to eat, Sasuke? We can prepare in advance. Opposite. Sasuke's expression remained dull. These two people. Exactly the same as his parents on his side. In the two ninja worlds, there is not much difference between his family. The same father, the same mother. And the brother who looks the same. But his brother, Uchiha Itachi on his side, destroyed everything with his own hands. Sasuke. Uchiha Shurikado was a little worried when he saw Sasuke like this, or, do you want to take a rest first? After all, you have traveled through a world, maybe it would be better to adapt for a while. They also knew about the child's experience. They and the entire Uchiha clan thought about it for a day and a night, but they couldn't figure out why another Uchiha Itachi in the ninja world wanted to kill himself. How can you test the power like this? This is pure insanity. For them, they even think about such a thing and feel it's outrageous. And for Sasuke, a victim who experienced it personally, the trauma will only be more painful. No need. Sasuke's voice was a little strange, and he seemed to have a choking sound, but he still tried to suppress it. I want to take a look at the Uchiha clan land here. After that, Sasuke added. I'll be fine by myself. Although the two people opposite looked exactly like his parents, they were not his parents after all. The real parents of his own have long been dead. This is the home of another Uchiha Sasuke. He is just a guest. The beautiful dream of treating this place as his own home will eventually come true. Seeing this, the Uchiha Fugaku couple didn't know how to persuade him, so they could only agree. Then Sasuke walked alone in the Uchiha clan land in the Imperial capital. The residential buildings in the Uchiha clan land in this ninja world are all high-rise buildings, but the first floor facing the street is still used as a shop. Sasuke can barely see the similarities with the Uchiha clan land in his own side. On the way to and from, there are familiar faces in his memory. These people, on his side, were all buried together on the night of the extermination of the clan. You are Sasuke? A familiar voice came into Sasuke's ears. Is it Sasuke from another world? Sasuke turned around in a trance and subconsciously greeted Uncle Taiki. The Uchiha Taiki couple, also members of the Uchiha clan, once ran a pancake shop in the Uchiha clan. This world seems to be similar. Sasuke took out the living expenses arranged by Senju Tobarama and bought a pancake as usual, just like when he was a child. He was alone, huddled in a corner, eating silently. Snap. Damn it. Sasuke wiped his eyes desperately, trying to suppress his voice and not wanting to cry out. I am an Avenger. Avengers don't need tears. Indra, who was watching silently in Sasuke's body, couldn't bear it anymore. Let's just regard it as the price of my will that has been lodged in this child in the past, and I will be responsible for enlightening this child. At the same time. Ninja World Number 1. One of the three holy places, the Paradise of Toads, Mount Miyaboku. Jiraiya, one of the Sannin of Konoha, has just been summoned by the reverse summoning technique. Episode 29. The Great Toad Sage's Prophecy, Two Children of Prophecy? Master Fukasaku, why did you suddenly summon me here? Jiraiya was confused. He was originally traveling in the ninja world, looking for the child of prophecy. He stopped in the land of hot water to collect materials. He didn't have time to react at all, and was suddenly summoned by the reverse summoning technique. We are not looking for you, but the Great Toad Sage wants to see you. Fukasaku led the way, saying, the Great Toad Sage suddenly woke up today, and it seemed that he predicted something again, and then asked us to summon you immediately. A new prophecy? Jiraiya's heart moved. Could it be that there is some specific clue about the child of prophecy? He has been looking for the child of prophecy in the ninja world for more than 20 years. He once thought that Nagato, the owner of the Rinnegan, might be the child of prophecy. Later, he got the news of the death of Nagato and Yahiko. Later, he thought that his disciple Namake's Minato might be the child of prophecy. As a result, Minato succeeded as the fourth Hokage of Konoha, but died in the Nine Tails Rebellion for sealing the Nine Tails. After that, he searched in the ninja world for more than 10 years. Nothing. I heard the Great Toad Sage's tone before, It seems a little anxious. Shima-san next to him said, maybe it predicted something important. It and Fukasaku had never seen the great toad sage anxious before. This should be the first time. Then let's go quickly. Jiraiya couldn't wait to say, don't let the great toad sage wait anxiously. Maybe he will find the child of prophecy soon. The future peace of the ninja world seems not far away. Soon. One person and two toads came to a huge temple deep in Mount Myaboku. Passing through the temple gate dozens of meters high, they came to the depths. On a huge throne, there was an old toad with an orange body and a crystal ball with the word oil engraved on his neck, sitting there. Great sage. Senran Fukasaku panted slightly, little Jiraiya is here. In front. The sleepy great toad sage slowly opened his eyes and looked down. You are. Oh, it's little Jiraiya, you're here. Down below. Jiraiya was slightly excited. Today, great toad sage seems to be in good condition. He had been to the depths of Mount Myaboku several times in the past and met great toad sage several times. In his impression, great toad sage has a very poor memory. He always forgets who he is, and needs Senran Fukasaku and Senran Shima to remind him. Great toad sage. Jiraiya said respectfully, excuse me, have you seen any new prophecy about the child of prophecy? I did see something again. Great toad sage was silent for a long time before he said, before, I saw the blonde and blue-eyed boy who appeared in my dream again in my dream. Blonde and blue-eyed boy? Jiraiya's heart moved. This. Minato fits this description very well. However, Minato is no longer here? Great sage, what about the blonde and blue-eyed boy you mentioned? Jiraiya asked in confusion, I remember that you didn't seem to have mentioned this prophecy before? This happened many years ago. The great toad sage said in a distant voice. Then. It briefly recounted the prophecy it had given to the sage of six paths in the past. In the distant future, there will be a blue-eyed boy who will laugh and call out the name of the nine-headed beast. This boy will bring about miracles. This happened 1,000 years ago. Below. Jiraiya was almost shocked. 1,000 years ago. A prophecy for the sage of six paths. A blue-eyed boy who can bring about miracles. Isn't this the child of prophecy? Great toad sage is really amazing. He was able to foresee the child of prophecy of this era 1,000 years ago. Great toad sage. Jiraiya said incoherently, such an important thing, why didn't you say it earlier? If he had known this prophecy earlier, he wouldn't have needed to search for a needle in a haystack in the ninja world like a headless fly. I forgot. The great toad sage replied. This was a prophecy 1,000 years ago. It usually sleeps almost all the time, with all kinds of messy fragments and vague memories, how could it remember so clearly? Jiraiya's forehead was covered with cold sweat, and he didn't dare to complain. Then, great toad sage, you just said that you saw the blonde and blue-eyed boy you saw before. Do you have any more specific clues? When it comes to blonde and blue-eyed, the first thing he thought of was naturally his most outstanding disciple, Konoha's fourth Hokage, Namake's Minato. But Minato is gone now. However, the orphan left by Minato, the child named after the protagonist of his novel, should also fit this description. I didn't see more fragments. Great toad sage was slightly silent, and his tone revealed a hint of confusion, and I saw two blonde and blue-eyed boys in my previous dream. Huh? Jiraiya was stunned. Two? What the hell? Could it be that these two blonde and blue-eyed boys are both children of prophecy? You need to explore further. The great toad sage said solemnly, find the child of prophecy, and then guide the child of prophecy to the right path. This is your mission, Jiraiya. In fact, it didn't just see the two children of prophecy in the dream. When it woke up from the dream before, it also felt a strong sense of crisis. It seemed that some fatal danger was coming. So, it ordered Fukasaku and Shima to summon Jiraiya immediately. I understand, great toad sage. Jiraiya had a hearty smile on his face. Guiding the child of prophecy and taking him to the path of bringing change to the ninja world is exactly what I have always hoped for. At this moment, he felt more excited than ever. The blonde and blue-eyed boy, such a clear clue. Finding and guiding the child of prophecy, bringing a peaceful future to the ninja world, is right in front of us. Well. After that, go back to Konoha immediately. Go and see Minato's child first, that child is likely to be the child of prophecy. Konoha village. Hokage building. Jiraiya, what can I say to you? Sarutobi Hiruzen was so angry. He is already 50 years old. He still believes in the predictions of those toads. Episode 30. Danzo, I am the Hokage. Hiruzen, you will regret it. Old man, this time is different. Jiraiya persuaded earnestly. The great toad sage gave a very clear clue this time. The child of prophecy is a blonde and blue-eyed boy, and there is also a hint that he is laughing and calling the name of the nine-headed beast. In his opinion, this is almost like pointing at Naruto and saying that you are the child of prophecy. Blonde hair and blue eyes, yes, Naruto looks like this. As for the nine-headed beast, it should refer to the nine-tailed beasts. And Naruto is the Jinchuriki of 9 tails. According to the prophecy of the great toad sage, it should mean that Naruto will even be able to achieve mutual reconciliation between humans and tailed beasts in the future. If this can be done, then mutual understanding between people will definitely be no problem. It is clear enough that Naruto is the child of prophecy. So, what do you want to do? Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a dark face, assuming that Naruto is really the so-called child of prophecy. What are you going to do? The next step is naturally for me to guide Naruto. Jiraiya said as a matter of course. The great toad sage gave a prophecy decades ago, saying that I will become the teacher of the child of prophecy. The child of prophecy may bring unprecedented stability or destruction to the ninja world, and I will be responsible for guiding the child of prophecy. This is exactly his life's mission. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but take a deep breath. Pure nonsense. Naruto has arranged Kakashi to be a teacher. Why do I need you to make trouble? This is Jiraiya. If someone else said this, and suddenly came over and said that he was going to be a teacher for Naruto, he would probably doubt the other party's intentions. Naruto is 9 tails Jinchuriki. Are you trying to control Konoha's 9 tails Jinchuriki by doing this? What do you want to do? Of course. Because it was Jiraiya who said that. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew Jiraiya's personality and knew that he would never have such an idea. So, Jiraiya really believed that prophecy. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt helpless. You are a dignified Konoha Sannin, a well-known Kage-level strongman in the ninja world. How could he believe the prophecy about the future peace of the ninja world made by a group of toads? Kakashi? Kakashi is too young. Jiraiya shook his head. The prophecy of the great toad sage said that I must guide the child of prophecy and make important decisions at critical moments. Sarutobi Hiruzen was completely speechless, rolled his eyes, and said unhappily, "Go away. Don't make trouble for me. Don't tell me these unreliable prophecies in the future. Why don't you believe it?" Jiraiya was also helpless, and couldn't help shaking his head and said, "Forget it, I'll go find Naruto myself." Naruto and Kakashi are on a mission in the Land of Waves, right? I can go there by myself. Anyway, guiding the child of prophecy is something that must be done. Jiraiya left. Not long after, the door of the Hokage's office was pushed open again. Hiruzen, are you really going to let Jiraiya interfere with the training of 9 tails Jinchuriki? Shimura Danzo walked in and said with a cold face, "If you don't stop it, 9 tails Jinchuriki may become like Jiraiya now, a runner who is fooled by a group of toads." For Jiraiya, Danzo couldn't stand it anymore. What a look. As a Konoha shinobi, he is not in the village all year round. For the prophecy of a group of toads, he ran out to find the child of prophecy. He even changed the forehead protector on his head and made a forehead protector with the word oil. Are you a ninja of Konoha or a ninja of Mount Myoboku? What do you want to say? Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at his old partner opposite him and said with a little caution. Jiraiya approached Naruto, but there was nothing to worry about. But Danzo. If this guy wants to get close to Naruto, he definitely has bad intentions. We can't let this go on. Shimura Danzo said with a firm look, Uzumaki Naruto has graduated from the ninja school. It's time to train him seriously and train him into a qualified fighting force. The tailed beasts of other villages, such as Cloud Shinobi's 2 tails and 8 tails, Rock Shinobi's 4 tails and 5 tails, can be sent to the battlefield to fight. And Konoha? 12 years have passed since the loss of Jinchuriki that can serve as a fighting force. Who knows when the next Ninja World War will be? Shimura Danzo said seriously, training Uzumaki Naruto is urgent. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen sneered in his heart and said, Danzo, don't keep us in suspense, just tell us what you want to do. Danzo, this guy, really still doesn't give up. Give Uzumaki Naruto to me. Shimura Danzo said seriously, I will train him to be a qualified war tool. Sure enough. Sarutobi Hiruzen was not surprised. Naruto is not suitable for your roots. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep puff of cigarette and refused, you don't need to worry about this kind of thing. Hiruzen, I'm serious. Danzo was a little anxious, Uzumaki Naruto is like this now, how can he be a qualified ninja who can fight on the battlefield? Then I'm also very serious to tell you. Sarutobi Hiruzen took out the pipe in his mouth, looked directly at Danzo, and said, Danzo, don't let your people get close to Naruto. You. Danzo was furious. Don't forget, Danzo, I'm the Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen warned solemnly. He can let Jiraiya get close to Naruto. But he will never allow Danzo to try to get close to Naruto. Danzo gritted his teeth, feeling unwilling. It's like this again, and like this again. He always uses the title of Hokage to pressure him. It was because he was a step late at the beginning, and let Hiruzen speak out first and choose to cover the rear. As a result, everything is too late. He failed to become Hokage. Now Namikaze Minato has been dead for 12 years, and he has been working hard for 12 years, and he has not seen any signs that Sarutobi Hiruzen intends to retire. If he continues like this, when will he be able to become Hokage? Hiruzen, you will regret it. Shimura Danzo took a deep look at the old partner sitting in the Hokage seat opposite him, and then turned and left. Bang! The door of the Hokage's office was slammed,